Good evening. I call to order the 811th meeting of the City of Laurel's Historic District Commission. The qualifications of the members of the commission, staff to the commission, and any consultants used are on file with the city and are hereby made a part of each and every application heard today. The guidelines and procedures adopted by the commission are also made a part of each and every application. Each application heard today is considered on its own merits and is not to be considered as establishing a precedent for any other applications. Madam Secretary, you call the roll, please.
Chairman Hayes.
Here.
Mr. Colquhoun.
Here.
Council President Les.
Here.
Ms. Rambo.
Here.
Ms. McSeany.
Here.
Ms. Lubinecki.
Here.
Ms. Frazier.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Agenda item number 2 is the approval of the minutes of the regular HDC meeting held on April 17th, 2018. We have a copy of those minutes before us. Any comments, corrections, or additions? Hearing none, can I have a motion to approve?
I so move.
I'll second it.
Madam Secretary, we have a motion to approve by Ms. McSeany and a second by Mr. Colquhoun.
Ms. McSeany.
Yes.
Mr. Colquhoun.
Yes.
Council President Les.
Abstain.
Ms. Frazier.
Yes.
Ms. Rambo.
Abstain.
Ms. Lubinecki.
Yes.
Chairman Hayes.
Abstain.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Agenda item number 3 is HDC 072-2018 for 339 Main Street, submitted by Shaunda Evans. It has to do with updating awning on her business. We have the materials before us. Is Ms. Levy here? Nope.
Mr. Chairman, this is just a change in actually the wording, isn't it, from the original?
It is. It is.
Right.
But I do have a question about it. You know, the awning covers 2 addresses, and one is for rent. You know, how, it's not clear where this wording is going to go. It seems long, but maybe not. I don't know. Is it going to cover both addresses or not?
Good evening. It appears that the awning is going to cover both addresses, but the wording for the salon is just going to be on her side or her.
So that's going to fit on her side.
Correct.
Okay.
I have a question. It's listed on the agenda as 072-2018, and it's listed on the application as 066-2018.
Yes, it is. Thank you for noticing that.
Was that the original? Was that perhaps the original application?
Okay.
We'll make a note of that.
Yeah, I think so.
And then I don't know if this is the right place to bring this up or not, but you know, last month we approved her painting the trim and the doors, but she only did the 2 glass fronted doors and the 2 windows. She didn't do the solid door in the center or the windows on the 2nd floor. And you know, we didn't say, you're doing the whole building, right? And she didn't say she was doing the whole building, but it looks kind of odd to me.
The question is really then for the owner, because is this a separate property up above? In other words, is this? I think that's a good question.
Yeah.
But the question would be, is this actually, this is Mr. Miles, isn't this Mr. Miles?
Yes, it is.
Mr. Miles' building, that the business in question is really that lower right-hand business. Are there apartments upstairs, or is it separate from the?
I mean, I think the center, it looks like the center door to me that has stayed green probably goes, you enter that on the ground floor and then you can go upstairs to a couple of apartments. There's a window air conditioner in one of the windows.
But that's not her building, that's not her unit.
Right, her
No,
unit is
Her
just
unit is
the,
to the right.
Right.
just the salon,
Right.
the lower level. So that's
But
what
she-
was painted.
Okay. Well, she also did the place that's for rent on the left, but not the door in the middle. So
We
I
can
don't-
follow up with her to see if they're gonna paint that. But
I mean,
think
I don't
she
know
was
that
looking
we
for-
have any recourse, but I think it's something we need to consider in the future. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, so is she only, but is she only responsible for the one side?
Right, yeah, I don't know. You know, that's what made me question it, is that both sides got painted, but not the middle or the second floor.
We'll follow up with the applicant as well as the owner, determine what's going on down there.
Okay,
Because
thank you.
it very well may be that they just wanted to do the lower level and not touch the apartments upstairs,
Okay, but then they didn't, you know, like I said, finish the lower level.
possibly.
Maybe they ran out of paint.
All right. Well, I'd like to make a motion. I mean, the only thing that we're actually being asked to approve is the change in the lettering. Is that correct? That's correct.
That's correct.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve HDC 072-2018 for 339 Main Street to change the lettering, or for the lettering to read Anointed Touch Salon and Spa, with the understanding that the staff will follow up on the two painting questions.
I second the motion.
Okay, Madam Secretary, we have a motion to approve by Ms. Lubinecki and a second by Ms. Frazier.
Ms. Lubinecki,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon,
Yes.
Council President Les,
Yes.
Ms. Rambo,
Yes.
Ms. McSeany,
Yes.
Chairman Hayes.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Agenda item number 4 is HDC 071-2018 for 325 Laurel Avenue, submitted by Cynthia Haynes, requesting to replace front doors with new color and style, and a bunch of other stuff too, as listed in the request. And Brooke, did you say Ms. Haynes is not going to be here tonight?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Chairman, I actually had just a question, maybe some clarification from the staff. When I was looking at the handout that we got on this particular property, there was which doesn't usually appear in our materials, it's a zoning analysis. And then it says the applicant also is making several changes per Unified Land Development Code that does not require HDC approval to the property. And then 4 things were listed. Are you considering those the things that we didn't need to approve?
That is correct. We just wanted to include everything that they were doing, but to show that there were certain things that were in the purview of the HDC, but just wanted to show a total analysis of what will be done on the property.
Okay, well, my question on that is, it seems to me repainting the porch steps, front steps, and the existing wooden fence actually does come under our purview. The whole question of the color and stuff, whether it becomes, I mean, it might be a staff in kind approval, but is that not in our purview, Mr. Chairman? Under number 1?
If you look at page 2,
Page 2.
turn the page, and then there's a list, no, oh, sorry, page 3. See the list?
Well, it says page 2, actually, I'm not.
Oh.
Okay. It's under requested action, and then it says zoning analysis.
So right-hand side, Doug.
Okay,
Oh. That first list, 1, 2, 3, 4.
yeah. Okay, repainting. And they are changing the color.
Right.
And
Staining, right,
my
okay.
question was, are they staining the railings or just the floor? That wasn't clear to me.
Repainting the existing front porch, front steps, and the existing wooden fence the color American oak. Adding new landscaping and new landscaping around the walkway. Installing a new address post.
Right.
I feel like when they say new, do they have an old one? Or is that replacing one?
I mean, and there aren't any others in Old Town, are there?
Sure about that.
I don't know. Doesn't the repainting, though, I mean, if they're changing the color, doesn't that come under our purview?
If they're changing the color.
I would have thought so.
Yeah, it does.
Right, so my question is really to the staff about that this does not require HDC approval, is a question, mostly, before we even go into the particulars.
The painting, if they're not doing the painting in kind, of course, it requires HDC approval. However, for like the landscaping, the new address post, the front porch swing, I do believe it doesn't require your approval.
Okay. Yeah, I
So
don't
once
think the porch
again,
swing-
we were just trying to, make sure everything was noted on the application.
And then really, the new address post wouldn't it fall under our, I mean,
I
that's
think that would fall.
that's a whole change in, I mean, I've seen some older homes, they have some remnants of what used to be a post or something left there for horses, or a boot scraper or something like that. But address posts, I don't think, I can't think of any off the top of my head that we have these in the historic district here in Laurel.
I personally have never seen one in the historic district. I mean, if you guys have a lot of questions regarding the application, we can always have it tabled so the applicant is here to discuss more. We just found out probably 10 minutes prior to the meeting that they weren't going to be here.
Right,
Okay.
right.
And even, I would think a front porch swing has some look, I mean, what I see proposed here, looks fine, but somebody could just put something bizarre on their front porch as a swing, and we wouldn't want that to be part of the look, I would think. Now, that's a pretty temporary thing.
Yeah, I think there are too many questions that I think this probably deserves tabling until Ms. Haynes can actually be here in attendance and help guide us a little bit.
Well, how about the doors? Do we think the doors and stuff, are there elements of her thing that we could, Mr. Chairman, that we might be able to look at? Or do we think?
Is Ms. Haynes anxious to have this done? I would think
we
that
won't meet for another month, so that.
Well, I mean, I would rather than to do it piecemeal, as long as we can get her in here next meeting, I think.
I agree.
I think we just table the whole thing.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, let me ask one question. Is this a single-family home or a duplex?
It looks like a single family.
Excuse me. It looks like it's a single family, but it looks like it might have 2 units.
It has
That does not have 2 units. I will tell you, that's a single-family home.
Okay.
But I'm looking at a picture that says A and B. Would indicate to me that somebody's trying to turn it into a duplex.
The A and B are to reflect the A and B front doors that they're proposing. So the house has 2 front doors.
Oh, I understand.
And both front
But this
doors.
is a single-family home as long as I've been in the city.
Yeah.
Okay,
Should be
so
a single
I think
family.
the question needs to be asked, are they attempting to turn this into a 2-family home?
I believe that this house has been divided on many occasions. There have been many different renters in there. And I don't know how deeply it is divided or how, you know, how they have arranged that, but I know for a fact that there have been apartments in there.
That were not licensed.
They were not licensed.
We will look into that.
I mean, I'm putting it all together. I've got A and B on this picture. I've got somebody that wants to put an address post up. Okay? And you can't, according to the post office, it just came out with an announcement, they will no longer deliver mail to the front of a structure for a new address. You've seen that, I'm sure. You know that everybody knows that.
No.
Oh, yeah, they will not. I think they've got a,
So you have to have like a group mailbox or kind of?
what they're doing.
Okay.
That just came out from the post office this last week. But again, it would appear to me, does the applicant live in this house?
Yes.
Okay, we've got a lot of questions.
Listed as the owner.
So, Mr. Chairman, I would suggest we invite the owner to come and they can answer these questions all at once.
I agree.
Right.
Let's hear a motion.
I move we table this until the applicant can appear before us to answer questions. That we table HDC 071-2018 for 325 Laurel Avenue.
And I'll second that motion.
Okay, Madam Secretary, we have a motion by Ms. McSeany to table and a second by Mr. Clacoon.
Ms. McSeany?
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon?
Yes.
Council President Les?
Yes.
Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Ms. Rambo?
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki?
Yes.
Chairman Hayes?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you very much. Okay, agenda item number 5, HDC 073-2018 for 335 Main Street, submitted by Sean LeVere, requesting to install 4 vinyl material window signs and repaint awning with new logo, which will read total copy and marketing in white and green lettering. Hello, sir.
Good evening.
Are you Sean?
Yes,
Hi, nice to meet you. Thank you for coming tonight.
thank you for having me.
Or welcome back, we might say.
Yes.
So, this is the old Minuteman Press.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Actually, I do have a question. When I looked on the color copy that we have that's like this is what, this one? I'm sorry, I have it in my book. Is this just white because you were cutting and pasting, or is this going to be clear?
It's just cut.
So it's all going to be clear,
No, it's gonna be clear glass.
clear glass with just the lettering?
Yeah.
Yes, that was actually my question. Thank you.
And my question is, the awning now, it looks like the building's been split in half. You only have the smaller
Yes, I
portion.
understand.
Okay, Minuteman Press on the awning is on the other side. It's not being used. It's being used for something else now.
Yes, it's actually, a boutique.
Right.
Right.
Are you going to have that removed, or is it still going to say Minuteman Press?
I will.
I'm sorry?
If she pays me, I will.
Right. The woman who's running the boutique.
Okay, so you're going to change half of the canopy,
Yeah,
and the other half is going to remain Minuteman Press?
correct.
I thought, is it 2 canopies up there? Or I thought it was one whole.
It's one. It's one big canopy.
But it, where they sewn it together, I can't.
So you're just changing the lettering in the canopy. You're keeping the existing canopy?
Yes,
Okay, and then you're just going to change the canopy or the lettering on your portion of the canopy?
correct.
Who is going to, I didn't know you could paint it on it.
It's, what they do is they paint it and then screen print it right back over it.
Okay. So they would paint it the green
The green.
and then screen print, okay.
have you talked to her about doing that job all at one time, maybe splitting the bill, or I don't know what kind of relationship you have with your neighbor?
Right now, it's a fresh relationship, but
It just seems like it's going to be a little confusing. It's going to say
I'm
minute.
just interested in my half. I tried to, she's a nice lady, but she's cheap. I don't want to.
She's a struggling entrepreneur, is that what you're
Like
saying?
me, yeah.
Right. But one would think that she would want her building to say, her side to say something other than minute
Yeah.
press.
Yeah.
But,
She does have a multicolor open sign.
yes. And Mr. Miles took down Mr.
At-
Mignon's beautiful,
The historic, Jay was there today.
Oh.
Went to replace it.
Oh.
he wants to replace
He
it.
wanted to put the two up, the two missing pieces,
Uh-huh.
and then he realized it was no longer there.
Oh.
Oh.
Mr. Chair, if I could, let me just, so the side you're on now, that's a shotgun space,
Yes.
straight back. Did they close the access to the other side?
Correct.
The opening's been closed up and the fire marshal's been there and said that's fine and all that.
See permit.
Yeah, okay. So, because I remember they had machines over behind the other side.
Correct.
Okay.
At the very least, you might want to suggest to her to participate in the painting. Just so that the name Minuteman Press goes away so it doesn't cause any confusion.
Okay, do you have any true printing equipment or is it all Xerox equipment?
It's all Xerox. I had the printing equipment at my house.
I'm sorry.
I had printing equipment at my house.
Okay, yeah.
But all the Xerox copiers and
Okay.
digital copiers and cutters are.
Because of course there's an allowance, personal property tax allowance in the city if the printing equipment is located in the city. You're aware of that? I just told you.
Just told me, yes.
Okay, and Christian can and the administration can explain that to you, because there's other places in the county where they don't. They don't charge the personal property tax on the printing equipment, but it has to be printing equipment. Just so you're aware. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome.
I move we approve HDC 073-2018 for 335 Main Street.
I second.
Madam Secretary, we have a motion to approve from Ms. McSeany and a second by Ms. Lubinecki.
Ms. McSeany?
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki?
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon?
Yes.
Council President Les?
Yes.
Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Ms. Rambo?
Yes.
Chairman Hayes?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you.
Good luck.
Good luck to you, Dan.
And I just want to say one thing. The young lady, Miss Brooke, who helped me navigate through this, excellent, perfect, and very helpful.
She's a
Thank you, Brooke. Way to go. Agenda item number 6, HDC 074-2018 for 636 Main Street, submitted by Tion Nicholson, requesting to install 2 new signs for a barber shop. Hello, Mr. Nicholson?
Hello.
Hi, welcome. How you doing? Okay. So tell us about the sign.
Mine were backwards.
It's a simple window decal, no painting or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
Precision Barber Lounge established 2018. And the hours of operation will be on the floor.
Okay.
And those are decals as well.
Mm-hmm.
My understanding is that the Bernstein Company also has kind of regulations for you, for the bands across, is that correct? Your landlord, the Bernstein Company? So this is within they have certain regulations also for the banding on.
Yes, I talked to Leon Hill. And he agreed.
pretty straightforward.
I'd come see you, but my grandson says I don't need a barber.
Everyone needs a one.
Truly spoken like a true professional.
I'd like to move that we approve HDC 074-2018 for 2 new signs for 636 Main Street.
Second?
Madam Secretary, we have a motion to approve from Ms. McSeany, second from Ms. Lubinecki.
Ms. McSeany?
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki?
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon?
Yes.
Council President Les?
Yes.
Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Ms. Rambo?
Yes.
Chairman Hayes?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Thank you very much, Mr.
Good luck
Nicholson.
to you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Agenda item number 7 is next. HDC 075-2018 for 414 Montgomery Street, submitted by Travis Scagliarini, requesting to install picket fence along the rear of the property.
Good evening.
Hi, how you doing? Welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
All right.
Won't be my last.
Right, so we have a wood picket fence.
And it is the square top, like
Yeah,
shadow box, or?
This Betsy Welsh to my left has a square top 4 foot. It's the privacy style where it's batten on board, I think we call it.
Yep.
So I wanted to try and complement hers as much as possible. I'm also doing 4 foot square top, but I'm doing picket style, so it won't be board on board. It'll just be board on one side. That side will be to the exterior, so obviously the aesthetic side is out. And it won't really be visible from Montgomery Street, so I'll park back at some property.
Right.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with the property, it's a house.
Right.
Back.
It is way back.
Yeah, it is. And those people drive right back.
And the black line in your picture is Ms. Welch's existing fence?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, so obviously I won't be putting a fence on.
No. Anything special about the gates? Oh,
There will be 2 4-foot gates.
oh, I
with
see.
arch tops in
I
the
see them.
front.
Got it.
And they'll just be sort of spaced in the middle of the fence line on left and right.
Yeah.
And in the back, closest to the garage, will be a double swing gate.
Right, 10 foot. And they'll both be arched. I see that.
Yes,
now.
yes, sir.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve.
Excellent.
I'll second it.
Madam Secretary, we have a motion to approve from Ms. Frazier, second by Ms. McSeany.
Ms. Frazier?
Yes.
Ms. McSeany?
Yes.
Mr. Cocoon?
Yes?
Council President Les?
Yes.
Ms. Rambo?
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki?
Yes.
Chairman Hayes?
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
You all have a pleasant evening.
You
See you next
too.
time.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll work on the fence.
Look forward to it. That's what it's all about. Agenda item number 8 is HDC 076-2018 for 906 Montgomery Street, submitted by Robert and Angela Crowell, requesting to replace current gray vinyl siding on structure with an autumn yellow siding and paint current maroon color trim with colonial white. Hello.
Hi.
You are Angela.
I am.
Nice.
This is Robert.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming tonight. So you have the old ice cream shop.
We do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Flavor Garden. Tell us about Flavor Garden.
Flavor Garden, the lady who owns it is Deirdre. She's wonderful. She's super nice. I encourage everybody to stop in and, help support her business in there. She's got sandwiches and she's got ice cream. What? Funnel cake.
Ah, funnel cake.
Funnel cake.
The magic word.
The magic word. And she's super nice, and So anyway, she's in there, and of course, you know, we own the building, and upon making some improvements to the back area, we had to fix some boards on the deck, on the back deck, which has all been done, and the ramp, portions of the ramp, and we noticed that the siding needs to be replaced desperately. It's actually got 2 layers of siding on it. It's just crazy how it was done.
It wasn't still on properly, so everything leaked behind the walls for years.
Oh.
So we'll just rot it out. So we got to take layers all the way down from there.
Okay.
Ouch.
So anyway, we thought it would be, well, we always wanted to change the color of that awful, ugly gray, battleship gray, whatever it is, I'm not sure, but it's hideous. And we thought a really nice bright yellow with some white trim would, you know, be pretty standard for, it's not a crazy color, it's just yellow.
Very welcoming, very welcoming.
And I said, I think it'll look lovely on the street. I think it'll really enhance the street.
Mr. Chairman, you want approval for the sign too?
We've already
The sign-
approved the
I
sign.
don't
You already
know.
approved
the
that.
state.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
They
We
did
already
that?
did that. That
Okay,
was,
I apologize.
Yeah,
I wasn't here
that was
last
fine.
month.
That was Flavor Gardens. I saw that on the printout, but I figured it was
Okay.
maybe the other signs already
Yeah.
out, so I figured.
Can I vote again on it?
no. No, we approved the minutes.
I was just, my question was, how close is that to the color that it's gonna be? Pretty close?
It's actually, we had an actual
I know sometimes
sample.
copies-
I mean, it's yellow. I mean, it's not gold. It's not butter green. It's actually a yellow that we wanted to go with.
Is this
She
it?
might have the. There we go.
Oh, thank you.
Brooke.
I'm not sure that I'm using that particular brand. I mean, I don't want to be held to that brand, but that is the color we're going for.
So my question is to the state, is this within our color chip palette? It is?
Yes, there's a similar color.
There's,
Around there that are
I looked at
really close to that color.
I looked at that, and I mean, there's lots of houses in the area that are yellow. And on your website, there was a similar color to that. I mean, just a standard yellow.
I think everyone has different taste.
Well, being a business, we're running the business out of there. The other ladies run your business. Something that pops off and
Yeah.
brings your eyes over there
Mhm.
would be probably better for.
That's a nice color.
you know,
Yep.
Bring attention to the businesses.
No, I think it's a good
They
idea.
really don't.
Yeah, I actually like the gray, so okay.
You actually like the
I do,
Really?
I do. That's like I say, everyone has different tastes.
True, you're absolutely correct.
If nobody has any other questions, I'd like to make a motion that we approve HDC 076 2018 to replace the gray siding with the autumn yellow and repaint the trim colonial white.
I'll second that.
All right, Madam Secretary, we have a motion to approve from Mr. Clacoon and a second by Ms. McSteamy.
Mr. Cocoon,
Yes.
Ms. McSeany,
Yes.
Council President Les,
Yes.
Ms. Frazier,
Yes.
Ms. Rambo,
Yes.
Ms. Lubinecki,
Yes?
Chairman Hayes,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you very much. We look forward
Yeah,
to it.
Coach, you get that?
Absolutely.
And you
I was
understand,
like rushing everybody.
understand the entire interior of my
Thanks
house
for
is a bright
coming.
yellow, so it isn't that I don't like it. The entire interior of my house is a bright yellow, so I do.
I think it's, you know, it's not gold, which I want to stay away from gold.
No, good idea.
But I thought that, you know,
No, it's fine, it's fine. It wasn't that I'm not a yellow person. It's, I actually like your gray, that was all.
yeah.
But you don't, and that's
Well,
fine.
It's not so much that I don't like it, it is falling off the building.
That's
Well,
more
there's
important.
that.
There's that. That's a totally different
That
thing.
that alone is good enough reason, actually.
I don't envy you having to take two
Sure.
layers off.
Yeah, it's awful.
I was told that there was like, the historical areas, there's great
So what happens here is once you pay for this improvement and submit the paperwork back to Brooke, and then at some point in time you'll get a 10%, a check for 10% of the total amount.
Off your property tax.
No,
it's now a check. They're back to doing it on a check.
Okay,
Yeah.
excuse me.
There's some also, you need to check with Kristen.
And for
Maybe
businesses,
some other business
yeah,
incentives.
exactly. Some things like signage and storefronts and those kind of things.
All right. That's not our department.
Right.
We're not development. We're not business. We're
Christian.
Christian.
Lady
Come
right in
in
the middle there.
Come in and have a chat with Christian.
Can I ask one other question?
Absolutely.
Okay. Being as how we are talking about that, you know, when we bought the building, we did do improvements to it, and we were not aware of being able to submit anything for any kind of tax credit. You know, we did substantial improvements. In fact, we put a beautiful deck out front. And I still have those invoices from when we did that.
There's a year.
No, it's a 1 year. Okay.
I'm sorry to tell you that because
Sorry about that.
sorry about that.
Okay, but I'll keep. Now I know.
Right.
Knowledge is key.
I know this because I just had something I slipped and didn't.
Okay.
All right.
We have a staff approval, HDC 070 2018. Any commentary or questions about that?
Now, I failed to look at that, but is that the building across the street from my mom's? Does anybody know? Did anybody go look at it?
401 is the corner building.
Right.
So
Is
probably-
it,
407 is, I don't know. Which building is that?
I bet it's the one that used to be El Segundo.
Marshall's old building?
the tan one? You think they'd actually do something to that? It's been
No,
empty
you're
for
right
years.
there. You're right
So
there.
I think it's, and I noticed that there were shingles missing from the house across the street from Mom's. So I'm glad they knew about it and are going to replace them. But there's an insurance agent that has put up awning and signs and all sorts of other stuff there.
For 407 Main Street?
I believe that's the
Is that
address.
the Allstate?
Yeah,
Allstate,
Allstate.
yeah, because there's that neon-looking sign with the hands.
Is that a banner or a sign?
Well, there's I don't know if it's there now, but there was a glowing sign with the Allstate. I mean, it wasn't quite neon, so I'm using glowing. But now I think there's an awning over the window, and there's a sign, and there's a bunch of stuff.
We'll have staff look into it and follow up
Thank
with you
you.
guys.
Thanks, Kristen. Agenda item number 9, new business. We have a few items here.
Mr. Chair, before we go into
Oh,
new
sure.
business, just like to ask staff a question on the applicant for 335 Main Street. I see that there was a notation on there, sign permit required for the office of the fire marshal. We're requiring Total Copy to put a sign on their business, but are we requiring the adjacent business to put signage on their business, or?
We don't require them to put signage, but if they do put up signage, of course, if they're in the historic district, they have to get approval from the historic district. I'm not sure if the young lady is trying to put up signage or not, but anytime a property is within the historic district, if they want to put up signs, they have to get approval from the commission and get a sign permit from the permits department.
Okay, but it's not a requirement by the fire marshal's office?
I don't believe so.
Okay, it was on the
It's
applicant.
on the
That's-
application.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That's why I was asking.
Right.
I can see why, because for safety reasons, if there was an emergency, they'd like to know where to go.
Right.
Right.
Like an address.
Right, you
Yeah,
don't
it
usually
is
put, that's a new requirement that we don't usually see.
House numbers or building numbers are the only things that are required.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, it just said.
Thank you for that clarification.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so back to new business. We have the Old Line State Summit, which is coming up in June 15th and 16th. It's a historic preservation conference. This year, it's sort of a 2-day thing. It's a combination of the Preservation Maryland Old Line State Summit and the Maryland Association of Historic District Commissions annual symposium. And I know that I believe Karen is going, I'm going, so anyone else that would like to go on the commission, and if we have any staff that would be interested in going, there look like to be some interesting topics that may always be relevant to Laurel.
Particularly, I think the MAHDC conference, and I'm hoping somebody from the staff is going, because the topic for the MAHDC one particularly is on affordability. In other words, how commissions, and I assume that would include the staff because you're advising people when they come in.
We have staff attending.
On the MAHDC one?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, good. Who?
I had to just.
You're going to be going?
Brooke.
All right. Excellent. Yeah, I think the topic this year is particularly good for towns like ours that they're having an MAHDC. That's great. Great.
Super. That's
Great.
Good to hear. Excellent. So the other thing, second item on new business is I thought that maybe some special recognition is due for the Laurel Manor House Bed and Breakfast, seeing as they're the first bed and breakfast in Prince George's County, I believe.
Yes.
Laurel has another first. And I'm not sure if we could just, maybe a little certificate or something recognizing that fact. If we could work that up, that'd be kind of cool.
I'll pass that on to the mayor.
Okay.
It'll have to be in June. We've got a recognition next week for a couple of organizations, but I'll bring it up to the. Marty, can you bring that up to the mayor, please?
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we can probably do something.
Mr. Chairman, I mean, and Mr. Les, I think part of the reason we would like to have included in that recognition is the level of historic preservation that they have done, not just that they're the first B&B, but also the preservation element that they have done on an exceptional Laurel house.
The way it would probably happen is we have the recognition of mayor and city council being in the historic district commission would come and be a joint presentation.
Excellent.
Great.
Okay. Mr. Fleming will talk to the mayor.
Yeah, I think this would be great, Mr. Chairman, if we can start recognizing people who do some exceptional work. It's a good incentive to people to see the benefit of what we do, and not just feel like we're telling them what they can't do.
Yeah, I know there are some areas, I don't know if Annapolis does it, some of the bigger areas, historic districts, I know that they do annual recognition like that. That would be kind of neat if we could maybe do that too, make it a regular thing.
Dr. Duran would say, let's start small.
There you go.
Well, that's what we're doing.
Sure. Got to start somewhere.
Yeah, that's correct.
Again, just trying to get more recognition and get information out. Another example tonight of someone that didn't know about what was available in the historic district. And the third item, just the Goody Mansion restoration effort. I think it would be really great if, speaking of partnership, if the Historic District Commission could be sort of work with parks and planning, or at least be sort of hooked in somehow and get updates on that. Several of us were there for the ribbon cutting ceremony, and there are some interesting, amazing things with that building, including some stuff that really needs to be restored / saved / restored, because there are a few unique things in that building, and I don't know, I'm not sure how to go about doing that, but I would like to have some sort of liaise with parks or at least updates.
Okay, right now, the CRA owns the building.
Okay. It hasn't officially passed?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
it's passed to the CRA.
Oh, okay.
The money, I think the money went to CRA, didn't it, Mr. Fonian? And then they turned around and used the money from that estate to buy the rent. There's some other things that are gonna happen there as
Right.
far as the property to the back of the building.
Right, we're
Okay.
aware of that, yeah.
And I know that, and I haven't had any conversation with her the last couple of weeks because I was out of town. But I know that Donna was looking for plasters. She's looking for the crafts that'll be involved in trying to, repair, restore.
Good, cool.
Typically what happens, for example, the Quill lot was leased to the city by the CRA. I think that because this is a standing building, at some point in time, I would imagine it'll be leased back to the city, and then they would be able to use the rooms, rental basis. But again, I think that the key right now is, Ms. Crary is working hard, along with Tim Abel and Mr. Fredericks on that committee, I think. They're working hard, thinking about things they have to do and what's it going to cost. I'm sure that, Christian, do you speak to Donna on a regular basis?
Not on a regular basis,
Okay,
but I speak to her from time to
but
time.
what I will do is mention to Donna that the Historic District Commission is interested in being advised on a periodic basis.
Okay.
I'm
So-
sure we can arrange that.
So
That's fine.
when I was the ribbon cutting, it sounded like Parks and Rec was going to get full authority over the building.
They will.
Is that not correct?
No, the CRA is driving everything that has to do with that building. Parks and Recreation there is for assistance and for some of their expertise on maintenance issues. But the CRA is the entity that you would have to, or the organization you would have to work with to establish some kind of relationship.
Okay.
Good to know. Thanks, Marty.
Because there's a lot of money, preservation money out there for them to do the work on this.
Not only that, but it would be good to work with people that, some of us have some experience and some sources, et cetera, in historic
Preservation.
crafts. So we'd be happy to help.
I'll talk to Donna about that.
I'll relay the message as well, but I said I would speak with her as well. But
And again, I think the key is, I'm not so sure that the CRA would transfer ownership to the city. They'd probably do a lease just as similar to what they did with the Quill property, so that it could be managed.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just guessing.
Okay. Any other new business?
So I have two things.
Okay.
So first, I don't know the new member of the commission, so could you introduce her, please?
Hi, I'm Vicki Rambo.
Rambo. Okay, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Do you live in the historic district? Do you have a business? What's your connection?
I have lived my whole life in Laurel, not in that district,
Okay.
but in Old Laurel.
Okay. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. And then this evening, I was driving down the 400 block of Laurel
I
Avenue.
already told her.
Oh, okay, then never mind.
We have an alert commission this month. Okay.
Then I move we adjourn.
Okay.
Third thing, how about that?
We have adjourned. Thank you.
They are definitely aggressively working.
What are you talking about?